All right, Facebook and YouTube folks, welcome. We're about to join in on the First Alert Weather app. Won't that be a hoot? Hello, I'm Josh Johnson. You are watching a live stream about bad weather coming to Alabama soon and very soon. We have a situation on our hands. So the morning wave of storms is looking increasingly unlikely to affect any of our area. The latest data that we've gotten in from the convection allowing models is pretty well unanimous in keeping that northwest of the WSFA service area, which if you're watching this and you don't know what that is, it's essentially the southern half of the state of Alabama, right? Minus Dothan and Mobile, but we still kind of cover those areas as well. But southern half of Alabama minus Dothan and Mobile is really what we focus on. So the morning wave looks increasingly unlikely to affect us. Now, that's a double-edged sword because that also means there's really nothing that's going to stop that afternoon and evening wave from being very, very rough, particularly if the surface low in Mississippi deepens wind and how strong we think it will. That's one, maybe half an exit ramp, but even that, I'm not sure that there's really any chance that it won't do what we think it's going to do. And then into the nighttime, you get another cluster of storms that comes through the state. It has some problematic aspects to it as well. So let's dive into some of the data here. Let me walk you through some of this. So what I'm going to do is take you hour by hour now through the whole thing. So this is 3 o'clock Saturday morning. It's a mix of clouds and clear. There's a couple of storms back here in Mississippi. You'll notice all those stay west of us, though. Sun comes up Saturday. The cloud deck dissipates, and this is not good. The sun comes out, and look at that. Temperatures soar into the upper 70s. And that's going to set the stage for that afternoon and evening round. And as I said earlier, and I don't use language hardly ever, but all hell's going to break loose across Mississippi and Alabama. The only question is exactly what part, right? Exactly who gets what. This is a day 2 high risk, which we're going to talk about in a moment, what that means. But so by afternoon, we start to see some cells firing back here. And then by mid-afternoon and beyond, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, this is bad. What you're looking at here is not a squall line. It's a line of individual cells called supercells. Those are the worst of the worst, the big, mean, ugly, strong ones. These are going to be capable of producing tornadoes. Maybe stronger, violent tornadoes. It's going to be capable of producing damaging wind gusts and some hail. These could be tornadoes that are on the ground for a long time and do a lot of damage and hurt a lot of people. So my job is to do everything in my power and say everything in my power right now to convince you and help you convince others to take this seriously and to exercise a few simple common sense things that will take you to an entirely new level of being safe, right? And keep you safe during this whole thing. So that's 9 o'clock Saturday. Yeah, big, mean, ugly batch of storms. Notice too, there's some breaks in this, right? This is not one long line. That's not what we expect. This will be storm, break, storm, break. Some of you, this will come over, it'll rain for 30 minutes and it's windy and that's all you get. The problem is, 95% of you have nothing bad happen. 5% of you end up in the path of a tornado, or 10% of you end up in the path of a tornado. Maybe a big, mean, ugly tornado. So that's the map-based kind of approach of this. You'll notice by 3 o'clock Sunday, it's mostly gone, and by 5 a.m., it's all out of here. So this is the newest run of the high-res rapid refresh. This is the significant tornado parameter. Anywhere where you see blue, the atmosphere could produce a significant tornado. Where you see yellow and orange and brown, it could definitely produce that if you got the right storm in the right place at the right time. And unfortunately, we're going to have a lot of storms in this environment. And you'll notice here, by 5 o'clock, the environment is primed. The storms at this point are still back here, so they're moving into that environment. And the environment and the storms both move east, synced up very well. A lot of people show this graphic a lot. I don't show it as much because it's easy to forget that you also need storms operating in this environment. Sometimes we get these setups where the storms outrun the tornado environment. This will not be one of those tomorrow. Everything, unfortunately, is going to, I think, be aligned to produce tornadoes. And then the environment moves into East Alabama. So this is that day 2 high risk. Check it out. Yeah. It covers a big chunk of Alabama. It covers a big chunk of the southern half of the state. If you draw a line with me from Alexander City to Millbrook to Prattville to Camden to Grove Hill to Waynesboro, Mississippi, along and north of that line is a level 5 risk, issued the day before an event. That almost never happens. The Storm Prediction Center has only issued a high risk the day prior 3 times. This is the 3rd time. The previous 2 times, there were 47 tornadoes on one of those and 83 tornadoes on the other. So again, I'm not the only person saying this is going to be bad. So if you don't get blown away, if you don't have a tornado hit your house, don't come at me and say, you said it was going to be terrible, you're an idiot, you're the only one, you hyped the weather, you're a liar. Save your breath, save my hairline, and don't do that. Because this is the Storm Prediction Center. We don't have anything to do with them. This is their outlook. My job is to communicate it to you, and that's what I'm doing. So this is a tough setup. There's no way to sugarcoat any of that. So the threat levels here, a level 5 risk of tornadoes in the western counties, level 4 for everyone else. Do not worry about if you're in a 4 or a 5. Both of those are huge numbers. Beauregard was on a level 3 day. Selma, Autauga County was on a level 3 day. Wetumpka got hit on a level 2 day. The fact that we're above all those should help you understand that you need to take this seriously. So here's a county by county, kind of blow by blow on this whole thing. So this may be hard to see. I've posted this on my Facebook page already. You can also find it on the First Alert Weather app if you want the full screen version of this. This is for people who are not map people, right? I see a lot where, and I used to do this as a meteorologist. I used to make all these maps and spend hours on these maps, and then I would show the map, and people would say, well, what about Montgomery? And I would say, look, it's right there on the map. And they would say, meh, I don't read maps. And then I finally wrapped my head around that, and instead of shaking my fist at the sky and telling you, why don't you know where you live on a map? I said, well, maybe I can do something different. So we came up with this because you all know which county you live in. Most of you, right? I think that's the number of people who know the name of their county is here, and the number of people who know where they are on a map is here. So as a communicator, my job is to meet you where you are, and that's what we did with this. So here's your county. Here are the times. This is the timeline of the greatest threat. It will not storm that entire time. What I'm giving you here is like a window, and then within that window, there will be a couple of hours where it gets really bad. That's what this is. So if you're not a map person, this graphic's for you. It's got every county in our service area, and we've added others upon request that are connected to our service area. I don't have room or honestly the mental bandwidth and time to do this for the entire state of Alabama. I wish I did. I'm going to look into that and see if it's something we can explore. But quite frankly, this is one of the most intensive graphics forecast-wise that we do, looking at an arrival time for every single county on this list and a departure time for every single county on this list takes us hours of work. So there you go. Got some questions coming in, a lot of those. I'll do my best to get to those momentarily. So what do you need to do with all of this, right? This is kind of scary. This is kind of spooky. This is not fun. Okay, first, take a deep breath. You're hearing a lot and seeing a lot of maps with red colors and first alert, and it can be overwhelming. Take a breath, relax. Tornadoes are small. Alabama is big. On April 27, 2011, the worst tornado day we've had in my lifetime in this state, 1% of the landmass of Alabama was impacted by a tornado. That's a lot. But that also means that 99% was not. Right? So your odds of getting hit by a tornado, even on a really bad day, are still low. The issue is it's one of these classic sort of communicating dilemmas where it is a low probability, high impact outcome. Right? If I told you we went to a restaurant and there's 100 of us going to eat there that day, but one of us is going to get food poisoning. Ugh. I mean, odds are good you're going to be fine, right? But you would still probably think about what you ordered on the menu that day. That's what this is. That's what this is. This is, the impact is high, but on a very limited scope. Not many people are going to get hit by a tornado on any given day, even a day like tomorrow. So take a deep breath, calm down. Your odds are really good. Your odds are even better if you follow these pointers right here. You need multiple reliable ways of getting weather alerts. NOAA Weather Radio and the WSFA First Alert Weather app are a fantastic combination. Weather Radio, king of reliability. It doesn't rely on you remembering to charge your battery. It doesn't rely on cell networks. It will wake you up over the sound of a storm. It is reliable. And when it wakes you up, you can fire up the First Alert Weather app or turn WSFA on your television, and one of us will be there tracking it county by county, town by town, street by street. It is the king of detail. So, king of detail, First Alert Weather app, king of reliability, NOAA Weather Radio. That's thing one. Thing two, you got to know where you're going to go. And again, this is a unique setup, and I'm going to use unique words that you haven't heard me say a lot over the years, but that's my job, right? I am begging you, I am urging you, if you if you live in a mobile home and you can make any reasonable effort and get out of that mobile home between noon Saturday and 8 a.m. Sunday, you should do that. Simple as can be. No hype, no panic, no hysteria. And this doesn't have to be anything stressful. Bring the Xbox, bring some board games, go see your Aunt Susan, go visit your friends at the beach. Right, I mean, like, you've got a window tomorrow morning. Wake up at 8 a.m. and you can drive for 3 hours. As long as you're not going towards Mississippi, you can drive for 3 hours and be anywhere. And the storms will not be here yet. You're fine to drive really at any point tomorrow morning before about 11 a.m. Noon at the latest. Try to be out of your mobile home by noon. It can be going down the street to a family member or friend who live in a site-built home. It can be going to a storm shelter. It could even be getting a hotel if that's something that's financially feasible for you. So there are options out there. There are community storm shelters out there. You have family, you have friends, you have neighbors. If you are a family member or a friend or a neighbor of someone who lives in a mobile home, maybe you could take the initiative and extend that invitation out to them. I'm not getting in your business or telling you what to do. I'm just an idea guy. So that's the idea. Okay, so you got to know where you're going to go. If you live in a mobile home, you got to get out. There's no such thing as a safe place inside a mobile home. You have to get to a site-built structure, and once you're in there, you need to go to a hallway, bathroom, or closet on the lowest floor of your home. The idea is to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Avoid, large open-air rooms if you can. Under the stairs, that's a great place. That's where we go at our house. So, yeah. That's a great spot. Now, the basement or the storm shelter, quite frankly, that's the best of the best. So you have options. There's no need to panic. There's no need to be afraid. You need multiple reliable ways of getting weather alerts. You cannot be in a mobile home. And if you live in a site-built home, you need to know where to go. If you do those three things, even if tomorrow is horrible, your odds of skating through it just fine are way, way, way north of 99%. So, again, there's no need for panic or hysteria. I get it. You've been bombarded today with First Alert and red graphics and the word tornado, and it's scary and it's spooky. Just pay attention. Change your plans. Tomorrow is a change your plan kind of day. Like, I don't say that a lot. A lot of times I say, look, don't change your plans. Don't change your plans. Tomorrow, you need to change your plans. Tomorrow, you need to be paying attention to the weather all day and into the night. But then Sunday you don't, and Monday you don't, Tuesday you don't, Wednesday you don't. I'm asking you to do it for one day and one night. That's it. So that is my Sermon on the Mount, if you will. All right, so lots of questions coming in. I'll type answers to these because it's 9:53. I got to do the 10 o'clock news here in 6 minutes and 39 seconds. So I will get over there and just be typing answers to you nonstop. But you essentially have all the information that you need. Noon tomorrow, things start to go downhill in the western counties first. Then by late afternoon and beyond, it reaches the central sections of the state into the evening and overnight hours, and then it will keep moving east from there. So noon Saturday, far west Alabama, through about 3 a.m. in the southeastern corner of the state. You've got the county list. It's on the Facebook page. It's also on the First Alert Weather app. So if you missed that and you're not a map person, Just search Josh Johnson WSFA on Facebook. Go to my page, scroll down. You'll see a big red graphic that's got all these counties listed out on it. That will help you. That's a good guide. So you are now empowered, right? You don't have anything to be afraid of. You don't have anything to worry about. You just need to pay attention to the weather tomorrow and be ready to move. All right. We're going to do an update on if we survive this, can we get a meet and greet? Sure, that sounds fun. Why not? You're going to survive this. So, all right, I'm going to go get ready for WSFA 12 News at 10. It starts in just a few minutes. You can watch it on TV. You can stream it on the apps, the WSFA family of apps. By the way, we'll be in, when we go into continuous coverage, tornadoes, your first place to check should be WSFA, the TV station. We will be on there. That will get all of our emphasis and focus because it's the fastest way for us to connect with the largest number of people. We will not be checking Facebook and posting nearly as often when we're in continuous weather coverage because we're providing a better service on WSFA. So put Facebook to the side and put on WSFA when the weather really is starting to hit the fan late tomorrow and tomorrow night. All right, we'll wind this down. Thank you very much. Hope you all have a wonderful evening. We will do additional Facebook Lives, YouTube Lives, app updates throughout the day tomorrow, into the night tomorrow, and we'll keep you posted. Everybody have a wonderful evening.